Hey guys, my name is Matthew Rogers. This is the Giant Hunter, and today we are talking about reloading. Now, to start reloading, you have to start somewhere. You have to decide what equipment you're going to start reloading with, and you have to decide what reason or what purpose are you reloading for. For me, it was not about saving money. For me, it wasn't because I shoot thousands of rounds every week or every month. It was simply about accuracy. I love precision, long-range shooting, and so I just wanted to be able to get the most out of my rifle. I haven't done really much to my rifles. I shoot a Remington 700 308 and a Remington 700 Sendero SF2 in 300 Win Mag, and I absolutely love those rifles. But I know that I was not getting the accuracy that I know I can get out of those rifles whenever I was shooting factory ammo. Now, in the last few years, factory ammo has come a long ways, so I'm not saying you have to start reloading, but I'm guessing if you're watching this video, it's because you're interested in maybe starting or learning a little bit about reloading. So today we're going to look at exactly what I use, what I decided to buy. I have a buy once, cry once mentality. And I saved up and I bought exactly what I wanted. And so let's jump in. First things first, which reloading press are you going to buy? For me, I went with the Redding T7 turret press. Let's look at it. So this is the press that I decided to go with. Like I said, it's the Redding T7 turret press. Couple awesome features. Obviously, big, strong, powerful charging handle, just a very positive, like when you grab it, you know it's like solid, it's not going to break off. And that's the same way I feel about the base. The base is like super solid. You'll never break that, or even like, you can never put too much torque on that to actually break that. Next thing I like about it is how positive, like when it settles in, it is just like so solid. So once it settles in between, here it's nice and loose, it hits that pocket and then it's solid. There's no moving that. Okay, next you have to decide which dies you're gonna go with. Lots of companies out there, Lyman, RCBS, Hornady, Lee, lots of great companies, lots of opinions out there. I personally decided to go with the custom grade Hornady reloading dies for a couple of reasons. This is for a Remington, a 7mm Magnum, and there's a couple really neat pieces on these. The decapping die / resizing die, it actually has these vents in the stem that actually prevent this from actually causing those divots or those kind of, sometimes whenever you put too much lube on one of your cases, you run it through the die and you get this big dent in the side of the neck or the shoulder of your case. I've never had this issue with these dies. I've had that issue before with RCBS dies, which is the reason I switched. But now all I use are these Hornady dies. They're like $38, I believe. You can find a deal occasionally. The other reason is the seating die. It has this like little collet thing. I'm not really sure what it's called, but it guides the bullet in. So whenever you put the bullet on the case, it might be a little cockeyed or whatever. Whenever it touches this, because it's so free floating here, it actually aligns that bullet so that it actually seats correctly and straight in your case. So absolutely love that feature on those dies. And it's actually now the only dies that I use. So as you can see, reload for 4 different rifles: 308, 300 Win Mag, 223, and Remington 7mm Magnum. So Redding press, Redding T7 turret press, Hornady custom grade dies. Like I said, the dies run about $35 to $40, depending. You can get them on Amazon for like $36 right now, I think. Next is case prep. How are you going to prep your cases? For me, I decided, like I said, buy once, cry once. I went with this bad boy. This has everything you need. It has your case trimmer. It has your uniformer for your primer pocket, your flash hole, your little brush here to clear out any burrs in your primer pocket, deburr inside and out, and your brush. You turn one little knob here and the whole thing starts spinning, and it's like micro adjustable. If you actually spin this right here, you can adjust this like 10,000ths of an inch at a time and really get really precise whenever you're actually going through your case prep. And then once you actually push this lever down, it shuts the whole thing off, which is really cool and a safety feature. Depending on when you do your tumbling, you have to clean your brass, especially if you don't want your rifle to seize up or jam up or all that, and if you just like shiny brass. I went with RCBS again. Love RCBS stuff for the most part, minus their dies. Love this thing. It is giant. I can do easily 50 cases of 300 Win Mag is no problem. I run this for 4 hours and it's all nice and shiny, and I absolutely love it. I tend to do the tumbler before I run it through the dies, so that my primer pockets and flash hole don't get filled up with the media and whatnot. But for the most part, this is absolutely wonderful, and it's actually quite quiet for as big as it is. Let's see. Next, primers, hand primers. Now the RCBS or the Redding T7, you can definitely prime with that machine, but there is nothing better than this right here. If you're on the fence about buying this, it's like 60, 70 bucks. Jump off the fence, go buy it, go sell something in your garage, get this. It's absolutely worth it. There's just nothing quite like being able to feel that whenever it bottoms out. You feel so much better on this than you can whenever you're using a big lever on your reloading press. So that is absolutely a must buy. I thought it was a luxury item at first, but it is absolutely not a luxury item at all. You're gonna have to find a good set of calipers. I went with this Cabela's brand electronic digital caliper, 8-inch dial caliper, pinpoint accuracy. The whole thing's aluminum, and I love it. It's very accurate. It's very consistent. Great battery life. You just have to remember to turn it off. It actually does turn off, I think, automatically, but I have wasted a couple of batteries because of one reason or another. But as long as you turn it off, no problem there. You are going to need some kind of shelf here to, I think it's a shelf, reloading case loading block. I use RCBS. It's kind of a universal. You can flip it for different size calibers, and this is just absolutely wonderful. A lot of people use two different ones. What I tend to do is start the case one direction, and every time I go through a process, I flip it. So whenever I get to my powder, it's facing down. I fill it with powder. It's facing up, and then obviously I put a bullet in it, and it's great. So love that, and I consistently do 50 rounds on that. No issue without needing a second block at all. I just use the one. Whenever I do get to the powder charge period, again, buy once, cry once. I went with this beautiful just piece of equipment, and I believe this is the RCBS ChargeMaster 1500. It holds like 32 different loads, so you can calibrate this to have 32 or maybe more. Of course, you can pop things off of it. 32 different bullet loads, and you literally just push recall, go to the one you want, enter, runs through to make sure you got everything correct, and it starts feeding the powder. And then once you actually take it off the scale, dump it in your case, and you put it back on there, as soon as it zeroes out, it starts loading, or it starts pouring powder again. So absolutely wonderful. I will note that you cannot leave powder in this. If you leave powder in the hopper overnight, it's going to eat away the inside of this. It is all, majority plastic. So that gunpowder is not the most friendly to that plastic. So you got to make sure you get rid of all that stuff. Or make sure you empty it before you go to bed that night. So case lube, okay. A lot of people use like one shot from Hornady, or lots of different options out there. I decided to go with this unique case lube. It's made by Hornady. I've been reloading now for 6 years, and I don't know if you can see that, but I've barely even made a dent. It'll last you for years and years. I mean, at this rate, I've probably got another 20 years just out of that. So the one shot, the only downside is you're going to go through a lot faster, and it's quite a bit more expensive than this. I think it's like $10. $10 for 25 years. I think I can handle that. Let's see. This little guy here. This is an OAL gauge made by Hornady. It comes with, you get these little cases that have the butt of the bullet reamed out, and it has threads in there. You thread it on there for whatever caliber you want. You're able to put this in the throat of your rifle, and it will help you measure how far the lands is, so you can load your bullet as close to the lands or as far off the lands as you want by just knowing where your lands is. So it teaches you all that there. Last, I think I have on the table, and this little guy is also another little Hornady piece. It allows you to measure from the ogive, on the bullet. And so I use, not all my bullets have polymer tips. So if I'm using a hollow point, then I'll use this and measure from the ogive. Or if I'm trying to, again, decide where the lands is and make sure I'm not jamming my bullet into the lands, then I can use this for that purpose as well. And then cases for your reloaded or primed, or however you want to store your cases. I love these. I like the color blue. There's lots of options out there, but I've only used these. Kind of keeps everything looking pretty around here. This is why I reload, guys, right here. I just grabbed a couple out of my bag over here. Obviously, they're going to be my better groups. This is for Remington 700 223. 5-shot group, .535. Obviously, that's not too shabby. So pretty much half MOA. This is exactly half MOA, same day. I was reloading. I think I was reloading Nosler ballistic tips, 55 grain for my Remington 700 223, and I shot like 6 groups that day, and every single one of them was like under 3/4 of an inch. So this one was .402. This one was .392. Obviously, I went with that one because that was my best group. For my Remington 700, this is the page that I actually reloaded for and build all of my loads off of now. Obviously, this shot group, not as good. This one's not too terrible. Then this group right here was .377 of an inch. I build all my loads off of that. The beautiful thing about the Redding T7, once you set that die, I haven't removed that die from that case or from that press since I started. So 6 years. I set it 6 years ago whenever I shot that group, and I haven't touched it since. And that is the beauty of having 7 different options, and you can load 3 different calibers all at the same time. for rifle and never have to move those dies. So once you find a load that you love, you set it, never have to move it again. I may never move that die. I'm just saying, it's an option. Guys, hope you guys enjoyed that. That's my reloading equipment. Next video will be about what bullets I use and go through all the different options for powder versus bullets, versus the reason you're shooting and all that fun jazz. So stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. This is a brand new channel, so I would love your support. And I got lots of more fun, lots of hunting videos, lots of shooting videos, lots of product reviews, things of that nature. So hopefully this helped you guys decide what you're going to get for your reloading bench. And until next time, have a great day. Bye.